This was the hardware launch of... I mean,
I feel like this was our Apple Vision Pro.
What was
Apple Vision Pro was like the normie people's like, whoa, interesting. This is our... Whoa, interesting.
In the VR space, but I would actually go back even farther than that. This for your IT computer gamer, someone who watches the WAN show, that demographic right there.
Sure.
This is the most exciting launch since what? Maybe 30 series? RTX 30 series? And when I say 30 series, I'm not talking the bullshit like pricing that happened afterward with the COVID, silicon short, all that stuff. I'm talking like when it launched. You probably remember where you were when you found out that the RTX 3080 was like $500 or $600 or whatever, and it was like the performance was huge over the uninspiring 20 series.
Too bad, not real.
Like what? Yeah,
but we're talking the initial news, right?
Yeah.
The
initial news,
sure.
like, can you? What else? What else would qualify here? Steam Deck was hype. That was 4 years ago now. Like, it's been a desert, dude.
To me, this is more interesting than the initial Steam Deck announcement, and that might even sound a little bit surprising. But my reason for that is that this actually came with Steam Deck news, kind of as a sidebar thing, and this to me. You know, we got the indication that this might have been a plan back when they first talked about Steam machines forever ago. But this really shows that they're embracing like Valve hardware as an ecosystem, which is really cool. Very exciting. It's also super exciting that the Steam machine is coming Linux-based with SteamOS. And it's just like the normalization of people using Linux all the time for things was already pretty big with the Steam Deck. But now it also being in a Steam machine for people that just want a console-like experience. Because a bunch of people aren't going to care about handhelds, and that's cool. And a bunch of handheld people won't care about a console experience.
And that's cool, too.
And that's also cool. So now that we have both, it's just awesome. It's very exciting.
Why don't we run through the news for anyone, the handful of you that might have missed those somewhat large events this week? On a random Wednesday, Valve announced the Steam machine, the Steam frame, and the Steam controller. Let's start with the frame. This is their new standalone VR headset that's powered by a 4nm Snapdragon ARM CPU. It has 16 gigs of unified memory, Wi-Fi 7 2x2, and this is dual Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz for streaming the VR video feed and for normal Wi-Fi, so you can like download games and stuff. Now, hold on a second. I don't actually know that it is dual 6 gigahertz. That is in my notes. I don't remember them telling me that, but the way that they held the briefing made it not just possible, but likely for some media outlets to get information that either through just forgetfulness or not asking all the right probing questions, others might not have. So, yeah. Anyway, that may be true. It's in my notes. I don't remember them telling me that. Up to a terabyte of storage on board. The displays are 2160 by 2160 LCDs and range from 72 to 120 hertz refresh rate with an experimental mode of 144 hertz, just like the Index. But in spite of it having onboard compute, you know, like a Quest, for instance, from Meta, it's so light. It's so wearable. It's so well balanced with the battery.
Is surprisingly important.
With the battery pack at the back. It's nice and tight to the face thanks to its pancake lenses. That's actually Valve's justification for using LCDs so that they can juice the brightness of the displays enough to overcome the losses from the pancake lenses. I've only used it for a few minutes at this point because I was really busy like writing videos and shooting them and stuff while I was in there. So I'm going to really need to compare them side by side. But if I had to guess, because so dual radios enable concurrent 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi and 6 gigahertz VR streaming. That's what I understood, not what I said from my notes. Thank you for looking that up.
No problem.
What was I talking about just now? Something, right? LCDs. So I need to try it. I need to try this side by side with the big screen beyond too.
Oh yeah.
Because that's got OLEDs, but it also has a tether. So a big part of what Valve is trying to do here is maintain power efficiency for this bloody thing, right? So I've seen a lot of people push back on Valve's justification for using LCD, saying, well, other VR headsets use pancake lenses and OLED displays, and it's like, right, but how much power budget are they using to juice these OLED displays?
There's also a cost factor
to overcome it. There's a cost factor too, and that was a major concern that I had for the frame, because as soon as I hear it's got a computer on it, I go, great, a computer I don't care about that now I have to buy. But man, is this thing ever cool. I might actually care about the computer, and that is because of the FEX compatibility layer that Valve has been contributing to in order to speed up the development. FEX allows you to run x86 games on the local ARM CPU, which is also running SteamOS. These guys have been absolutely cooking over there. Of course, the most mind-blowing part to me was when I heard about foveated streaming. So a big concern for me, as soon as I heard that Project Deckard was going to be a standalone VR headset, I was like, fuck, because Valve was the only one that was left that was doing outside-in, proper freaking tracking that is accurate and like, just fuck, right? With a tether and high visual fidelity, you know, everything else. Apple Vision Pro was going to using wireless streaming, and the Quest, like, you can use a wire. It's flaky. You can stream wirelessly, but it's imperfect at best. And so as soon as I found out it was standalone, I was like, great. There goes the ecosystem for us people who care about accuracy and, well, yeah, accuracy, low latency.
I originally fully agreed with you and had the exact same reaction when I heard about Deckard, but these days with big screen, I'm less concerned because I feel like they can be the champions of that.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Maybe. Maybe not. But when Valve did the demo showing me their wireless streaming with foveated streaming, so if you didn't watch the video, what it basically means is that they are dynamically adjusting their use of the bit rate that you have, like, because your connection, your link speed is only whatever it is, right? And so by focusing their use of their limited bit rate that they have, because it's not a wired HDMI or DisplayPort connection, on the areas that your eyes are actually looking at, actually focused on, they achieve a level of fidelity that, admittedly, I wasn't looking at it side by side, but that I could not discern from a wired connection. And I couldn't see I couldn't move my eyes fast enough. We used a shot in the video of me looking around like this, which is not how you would try to beat it. Like, you would try to flick your eyes. The time it takes for my eyes to move to a new spot and refocus is slower than the time it takes for them to track my pupils and reallocate their streaming bitrate budget and have that be the highest fidelity part of the scene. I couldn't see it, Luke. Crazy.
We'll see.
The proof's going to be in the longer term use. I was only able to play Half-Life Alyx, which admittedly I didn't enjoy that much. I didn't really get through it. I didn't mention that to them, but the other big one that I was concerned about, as someone who has enjoyed full body tracking in the past, was Beat Saber. So I've streamed Beat Saber with ankle and waist trackers in addition to my hand and head trackers, and I was really concerned about both the ability to move my hands fast enough without losing tracking using camera-based tracking. So far, it looks like they have invested heavily enough in the onboard processing on the controllers, as well as in quality inside-out tracking cameras, and the positioning is such that you can get pretty far back before you actually lose tracking, that it looks like that won't be an issue. As for whether you can use base stations with your older tracker devices, I've seen quite a few people ask about that. I don't know yet, but that is going to be one of the first things that I'm going to try once I have a frame in hand. So, like, this thing is wild. It's the versatility. The fact that I can get, as far as I can tell, I wouldn't say zero compromises because it isn't an OLED, but a low compromise PC VR experience now with no tether. Wow. The fact that I can run games locally on this thing, right? Lighter games, obviously, VR titles, and play those is wow. And then the fact that I can play everything from like literal like PC games to media on just a giant screen, like I might do with something like an Apple Vision Pro, is triple wow. Like,
is there a price out there?
No.
Is there a price out there on any of this?
No.
Okay.
But Valve did
make some nudges, some indications.
Yeah, they did indicate sort of what they were targeting, and I think the goal was for it to be not more expensive than Index. So the headset itself is loaded up to the gills with expensive tech, but you don't need base stations, so that helps, I guess, and then we'll see where the chips fall in terms of pricing. But I wouldn't be surprised to see $999. I wouldn't be surprised to see the same price as an Index, or rather, what's the Index? What's the Index go for in the States? Index price in USD. Yeah, you have to say Valve Index, otherwise you just end up with all kinds of other things.
$999.
$999. Okay,
for the kit.
I did get that right. Okay. But I mean, essentially,
just the headset is $659.
But you're not going to be able to buy this without the kit. So
the headset and controllers is. Oh wait, what? Oh,
what's up?
If you want the whole thing, so headset, controllers, base stations, all that, it's $1,319. Oh, Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian. So that's $1,000. Yeah. Okay. All right. What are we even... Oh, yeah, wow, we're still talking about the Valve announcements.
Sure are.
Yeah, Elijah's never going home. He's actually here to talk about the other big news from this week.
Sure is.
Linus X Linus. But, we can't move on from the frame without talking about how much buyer's remorse you must be feeling right now.
I don't know.
So he just,
I don't know,
like 2 months ago, bought a Big Screen Beyond 2.
I bought it before then. I just received it somewhere around there.
Have you fired it up yet?
No, I still don't have a functional dwelling.
So by the time you actually get to use your Big Screen Beyond 2...
It might be halfway through 2026. We'll see.
The frame... What?
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. The frame...
It's taking too long.
The frame could literally be like imminently available.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about that, sir?
I don't know.
That is such a... This is a podcast.
The Big Screen Beyond is still really cool.
You can't just say, I don't know.
The Big Screen Beyond is still really cool. I don't know how much regret I'm going to feel. I feel like I actually might end up with both of them, which might sound insane.
Oh, I was about to make a joke about how the regret could be kind of tugging on you a little bit. But because honestly, I think that's the biggest downside. There are still advantages to the Beyond 2. OLED displays.
Yes.
It is smaller and lighter.
Yep.
Better light seal because it's bespoke.
The light seal is incredible.
Literally perfect.
Yeah.
Literally perfect.
Very comfortable as well.
Yeah, I don't know if it's as good as the... it's tough. Depends on how long you're wearing it. Have you actually worn it for like doing anything physical?
Nope.
So the Beyond, because it has like a rubbery type of material, like a silicone.
It's still literally here.
Yeah.
It's in a box on my desk.
I'm so sorry. Because it uses that material, you end up with what I call swamp eye a little bit because it's not breathable.
Yeah.
Whereas the deck uses a more breathable style material, and it has like gaps. Like you can kind of look down and see where you're going with the deck. Not that you should. You should just use the pass-through cameras, obviously, but you can.
It's a hot take, black and white, totally fine.
Oh, I don't even care.
Who cares?
Dude, I had someone come at me in the comments because I criticized it for not being able to walk around with the camera pass-through. And I was like, bro, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I was taking a shot at Apple Vision Pro people who were walking around with their stupid headsets on for the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know if it was a couple weeks.
Yeah, a week.
It's the first few days. That stopped pretty quick.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the black and white cameras. This, to me, feels like I have a seated or near computer experience, which is really dialed.
Mm-hmm.
But might kind of take some setup time, move things out of the way, do stuff like that, and then like really settle into like this nice dialed, tethered experience. And then the frame's interesting for a bunch of reasons to me. I almost want like a travel box for it.
I would use the crap out of the frame on the road.
Yeah, being able to like play some Beat Saber.
Oh yeah, and
just
like
anywhere,
because I actually
on the plane.
I'm looking forward to trying this so much. I have a Strix Halo laptop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is this enough for me to like load up all my mods, like
Probably.
play VR games?
Probably.
I mean, it's got a USB port, so theoretically, I've got my 6 gigahertz wireless. Like dude, the frame packs. I didn't actually talk about that in the. I should start adding some stuff for my notes for the stuff to talk about for the full review. But I didn't actually really talk about how tightly it packs up.
Yeah, that's something I was genuinely wondering about. Because the ability to be portable with this thing is actually very interesting to me. I'm excited about this in regards to. I don't know, people are going to be like, oh, you've been able to do this the whole time with the Quest 3. I didn't love the Quest 3 experience. Don't love who the Quest 3 comes from.
I think that's the second one is the bigger one for me because apparently the software's gotten a lot better since we reviewed it.
Sure it has.
They've apparently, I'm just going based on comments on the frame video, but apparently it's like improved a shocking amount for software updates. So it might be worth me kind of checking it out again as part of this. Actually, I'm going to add that. Cool. Now that's on there.
Cool. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I feel like this is it. I don't feel like there's another experience that is going to be this good. Might not feel as strong as it did in the past, but I think they're going to be different. I think they're going to be quite different. And I don't necessarily think I'm actually going to have that much regret right now, having never actually tried the one that I bought and clearly never tried the one that's coming. But that's my hunch right now. Yeah, you want to talk Steam Machine? Are you done with Frame?
I think we can talk Steam Machine. Yeah, I'm the wireless streaming dude. It blew me away. I get to have PC VR wirelessly. Wow. Oh, no, there was the last thing. What's going to happen to the ecosystem, right? Like, could big screen carry on manufacturing base stations, for instance? At this time, Valve does not appear to have any partnerships in place for anyone to continue to produce
they're open to it, right?
Base stations or Knuckles controllers. They did say they were open to it. With that said, I have direct contact information for multiple people at Valve. They are not always the easiest to work with. So just because they're open to it does not necessarily mean that anything will happen. I'm not going to have my hopes up until I see concrete action on it. And that it's not a shot. It's not a shot at them. It's just that you got to understand Valve's a very small company.
Which, headcount wise, is actually somewhat true.
Yes, which I only mention because, that excuse was made for some stuff. I was like, okay, sure. Sure. To be clear, I'm very grateful that they were able to bring us out to check out the new hardware. I'm very excited about the new hardware. And I am extremely excited to learn more as I get to kind of explore it. I'm hoping that we're going to have access prior to the actual launch date so that when launch day comes, we can bring you guys like really detailed, answering all the questions, like thick reviews of all of this stuff, because it's basically game-changing across the board, which I guess brings us perfectly to the Steam Machine. It's a new mini PC that's boasting roughly 6 times the performance of the Steam Deck, powered by an AMD 6-core Zen 4 CPU, a GPU that is a semi-custom design, but as far as I can tell, this pretty much comes down more to power profile tuning and firmware and drivers, right? Like the actual silicon appears to be more customized in the sense that AMD is going, okay, so you want to fuse off this and not that, and tune your power profile. Like it's not brand new silicon. 16 gigs of SODIMM DDR5 memory, 8 gigs of GDDR6 VRAM, and either 512 gig or 2 terabyte SSDs, but the SSD is upgradable to a 2280, so you could throw up to an 8 terabyte drive with current NAND densities. The big deal is, of course, that it runs SteamOS.
Yeah.
Linux out of the box, and comes with the new Steam controller. It uses TMR analog sticks, has an Xbox-style layout with a PlayStation analog stick layout to make room for the 2 haptic trackpads on the bottom, similar to the Steam Deck.
How did it feel to hold? It looks a little wild.
Smaller hands, I would say not the most ergonomic controller I've ever held.
It did give me, obviously not the same, but it did give me like Duke vibes a little bit.
Not quite.
Yeah, okay.
She's not so thick like the Duke,
but like tall.
She's just she's girthy, but not thick. Like she's wide.
Oh, this way.
She's ample.
Okay.
I'd say she's ample.
Was that not a characteristic of the Duke?
Yeah, but the Duke was fat.
Okay.
The Steam controller's ample.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I don't mean like pH fat. The Duke was FAT.
I'm just going to wait.
The Duke was fat.
Try it myself. When I was looking at it, I thought that's probably going to be fine for me, to be honest. I'm actually pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
I thought the original Steam controller was really cool. This one seems more versatile, which is neat. Although, to be completely honest, if you can afford it, I feel like the play is going to be to have a normal controller and then just maybe also your Steam controller.
Yeah.
Because the touchpads on Steam controller will be nice sometimes.
Yeah, and super cool.
Yeah.
And some people are going to just daily the crap out of the touchpads.
Yeah. Obviously, there will be certain games that will play a lot better that way.
Particularly for old dogs that don't want to learn new tricks, a more traditional controller. And man, there's so many great, super cool, innovative controllers out there. Like after doing that controller tier list video with David, where we did the whole like playoff, man, I don't think you can get away with having a top of the line controller anymore that doesn't have adjustable tension on the analog sticks. Like it was so game changing.
Yeah.
For me anyway, that I was just like, well, everything else is basic now. And that doesn't mean that I necessarily, want to go and replace every controller in my house with those, in some cases, quite expensive aftermarket controllers. But little brother controllers are the big brother controller now. It's not the way that it used to be where first party was king. What is cool about the Steam controller, though, is each of their puck wireless dongles supports up to 4 of them, and Steam will support up to 4 pucks, meaning 16 controllers to one machine, making for hassle-free 10-player tape-to-tape, which is all that I really care about as far as that goes. There's a lot more to break down once we actually, finish reviewing these devices, and there's actually more details in the 2 main channel LTT videos that we have up on these devices. You guys can go check those out. But in the meantime, I want to talk about pricing for the Steam machine. Actually, no. What I want you guys to do, chat, get out of here, bug, is let me know what you would pay for it. So basically, it's a 7600 CPU and a 7600 GPU. This is not a super powerful machine. Valve is upfront saying that they are going to be relying on FSR in order to achieve 4K. And even then, man, like 8 gigs VRAM, anyone else would be taking a ton of flack for shipping a game console today with 8 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of people talking pricing in here. I'm gonna read these. 600, 600, 600, 600, 600, 350, 800, maybe 600, 1,000, you're crazy. 500 tops or DOA, 250 PS5, so like 500 to 600, 599, 699, 500. Okay. A lot of 500 to 600.
I don't think so.
I can't tell you what the price will be because I literally don't know. But when I said, I'm disappointed that it isn't going to follow a console pricing model where it's subsidized by the fact that, the manufacturer is going to be taking 30% of every game sold on it over the lifespan of this thing, because I feel that would be a more meaningful product. And they kind of asked what I meant by, well, what do you mean by console price? And I said, well, $500. Nobody said anything, but the energy of the room wasn't great. So...
Oh, a console isn't $500. Maybe that's why.
I mean...
PS5 Pro is $700.
Yeah, the PS5 Pro, but we're talking the Pro. I mean, the Pro is markedly more powerful than the Steam machine.
Sure.
So, PS5 Pro Radeon equivalent. I think it's more equivalent to like a 7700.
I don't follow consoles enough.
Let me have a look. So that is more equivalent to a 7700 XT. And then the base PS5 is about an RX 6700. So the base PS5 is closer to the Steam machine in terms of performance. With that said, it's not like the Steam machine, even if it's at $600 or $700, isn't going to have any justification for it.
The disk drive PS5 non-Pro is $550.
Does the Steam machine have a disk drive?
No.
Okay, then.
Well, I don't think so. It has a lot of other stuff going on, though.
Yeah, I mean, compared to a PlayStation, yeah, you can use it as a computer, but I think a lot of people won't. And the fact that Valve is shipping this thing with a controller tells me that this is... and
a controller with touchpads on it.
And all but one demo that they had in their big demo room was it hooked up to a TV. Like it wasn't... They had the one where it was hooked up to a monitor.
To TVs, for sure.
Right.
I still just think it's not completely equivalent.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not surprised it would be more expensive. I think it honestly makes sense that it would probably be more expensive.
There's not... which one would be more expensive?
The Steam machine.
What is it adding?
It's a computer.
Sure. How much are you going to compute from your couch?
I can definitely see people using it in that way, and I can see that being a value add for people and it being more expensive because of that.
Sure.
I'm just saying I understand why the pricing might work that way. I'm not saying it's good.
When you were saying there's more to it, I thought you meant there's more hardware that I'm not accounting for that would make it the cost higher.
It's a different device.
Sure, yeah, it's a different device. But, for me, look, the question is, from a performance standpoint, the biggest justification for what I'm going to hook up to my TV, I'm not computing, I'm gaming. I'm gaming from my couch. So the biggest justification to me is that I can take advantage of Steam sales. I don't have to buy things in the PlayStation Store. If it's going to be more expensive, that's the more meaningful...
There are benefits to it being a compute device on your TV, for sure.
Sure.
I think saying no to that is crazy.
I mean, hit me.
You can pirate things.
Okay, but I can't watch proper HDR Netflix because it's Linux.
I mean, you could. It would be annoying, but you could.
You can? Is that supported now? Because I'm not aware of it.
You could virtual machine over if you cared.
HDR? With what streaming platform?
Sorry, what?
Watching HDR? Like DRM protected HDR Netflix? No.
You can't do that through Windows? If you boot Windows through anyways?
Sure, but then now you're buying a Windows license.
Oh, sure. You're pirating things, so you can't pirate the easiest thing to pirate?
I mean, at this point, you're basically making the argument of just going in, you're taking this, we're talking about a console right now. I mean, at the point of what...
No, we're not. That's my point.
At the point of what you're talking about, go build a PC and then just hide it behind your media console.
I mean, in a lot of ways, yeah.
Well, right, but that's not what we're talking about.
Except that's what they're selling.
Sort of.
Actually.
Were you there?
No.
Okay, so that's not really the messaging.
Okay.
It's part of it.
Your video projects that it's not a console. It's specifically not a console.
It's not a console, but what it is it is designed for a very console-like experience.
Totally, and it will do that and more stuff, which is my point.
I'm actually having a hard time kind of following along here. But basically where we started was I went, hey, I don't really think that there's a lot here that would justify 4 years later why this thing would be priced like a 4-year-old PlayStation 5. And, you know, if you kind of go like, yeah, there's more utility in it being open. It's like, yeah, but, you know, at that point, yeah, you could just like build a PC and flash a SteamOS image on it. Like it's...
Yeah, and they said it will be very competitively priced with PCs. So you could do that, or you could buy this thing. You could do either one.
Yeah, if we... There's a value to a very significant portion of the population to a more seamless console experience. And what you're describing is not that. That's like the DIY PC thing. Right. But if I can do both, then like if I have that level of knowledge, I don't actually need Valve to bring this to me. I could have done that already. I could do that today. So that's kind of where I'm getting a little bit confused here.
Is the boot with your home theater system thing something that's easily done by end users?
On a DIY PC?
Yeah.
So this is cool. Someone flagged for me, apparently there's a USB dongle that can add CEC to any off-the-shelf computer. I have not validated this, but that's on my list of stuff.
I've never heard of that personally.
I've never heard of that. It's on my list. It got a few upvotes. So that's on my list of stuff to validate for the full review of the Steam Machine, because that's a really important sort of...
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's a really important element of if you were trying to build the exact same functionality on your own, you know, what would you have to do? And
it should be a video. You should try to beat. You should try to beat. You should install SteamOS on it. Cool. Sounds good.
Yes, of course. But that has to be part of the calculation, right? And you got to go buy a good controller. Like you can't just, you know, buy the cheapest controller and say, "Oh, well, I have a controller, therefore I am feature equivalent."
You could just buy a Steam controller.
You mean the old one?
Can you not buy the new one?
Well, not yet. We're going to do this. We're going to do it first.
Got it. Okay.
So basically the title's going to be I couldn't wait, so I built my own Steam machine. I'm going to use the old chassis.
Do you wait until the pricing comes out and then try to match the pricing, or are you just going to look at the specs and see what price you can make it for and then kind of beat them to the pricing conversation? That'd be really interesting.
I don't know, because I think there's multiple ways that we can tackle it. The one that I build for myself is actually going to be more powerful. I'm a little disappointed in the specs, to be just completely
I think
blunt.
that's pretty fair.
A PlayStation 5 today for more than like $500, $600, I'm not excited. It's okay, but it's not exciting to me.
To me, the exciting part is just SteamOS on more pieces of hardware that are being sold to people.
Yeah, and that's cool. And, you know, I'm still, 4 years later, very excited for SteamOS to become a more mainstream thing that's easier to install on a wide range of hardware and all of that stuff. But in terms of like what I need in my life, if it doesn't come with aggressive pricing, and it was a little surprising to me that it wasn't going to be priced like a console, because the Steam Deck pretty much was and still is. You look at it compared to, the Aya Neos and the ROG allies of the world, and they are undercutting them significantly. But Valve made the strategic decision in this case not to do custom silicon that would yield them a large savings over a very large volume product, which tells me, a couple of things. One is that they don't necessarily know if this is going to be a high volume product. Or it tells me that they don't even want to interfere with the ecosystem, which, was part of the conversation that we had, even though they couldn't give me like firm reasons around everything.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, they've had much stronger partnerships with especially PlayStation, but also Xbox recently. So maybe they're like kind of semi-joining the space, but trying to do it in a fairly friendly way.
And that would be true to the original vision for Steam Machine. Like if you recall, Steam Machine, the one that I have, the prototype
Wide Boy
one, that was not a real product. They launched with partners like Alienware.
You could make it in that box.
Of course I am. Come on, man. Come on, man.
By the way, I just looked this up. I don't know if it's the same one that got linked to you. There's a few threads that I found talking about it. Oh, yeah,
there we go.
And somebody already said that it works with Steam Deck.
Oh, interesting.
And apparently it advertises somewhere that it's compatible with Mac OS. Oh, now they say Linux. Okay.
USB 2.0 is a disappointment. So I'll have to look around.
There might also be other ones. I don't know.
I'll have to see what's out there, but that's definitely something that we'd have to factor in.
Yeah, someone in Twitch chat just said, Dark Horse said Pulse 8, yeah, these guys are legit. And I've seen a few threads talking about them. Maybe they have a different one that's not, 2.0A anymore.
I don't know, man. I'm excited for the idea of the year of the Linux desktop. What I'm not excited about is it not having a console-like price. And the other thing that's great about consoles is the way that they tend to plummet in value.
This will have that problem, I suspect.
No, I don't think it will.
Really?
Because it's a PC.
The reason why I think so is just because it's already slow and old.
You think so? Okay, that's kind of a hot take. People don't like people calling it slow and old. Hub's sort of under fire for calling it, I think, slow and old or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
As a device that's coming out next year, that feels, based on what we expect the price will be, that feels true to me.
Mustafa USB 2. Did I say USB 2 was a disappointment? I meant HDMI 2 was a disappointment. I'd like it to be 2.1 at this point. That dongle. The USB doesn't matter. All right.
Okay. So to be clear, that 2500K system that I mentioned on, I think, last WAN show is playing Arc Raiders right now.
Right.
So being old doesn't necessarily even mean that big of a deal. I just think...
Well, it's not the CPU I'm worried about.
Exactly.
It's that 7600 8GB GPU and the fact that Valve is even talking about 4K on it. In fairness to them...
They did attach that to upscaling.
They are being very upfront that they mean with FSR, which basically means not 4K.
Not actually,
but we are probably 2 years now from PlayStation 6, which means we're probably 3 to 4 years from games that are actually going to leverage PlayStation 6 hardware. Meaning that Valve has kind of a half a console generation before they can't, with a straight face, say, it'll run basically, high-end games on Steam at 4K 60 FPS with FSR, because all the FSR in the world is not going to make a PlayStation 6 game run.
It just sucks that that's going to be true for such a short period of time, like you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
But Mr. Nick88 in Twitch chat did also say, quote from Valve engineer Yazan Aldahayat, I think. I hope.
Sure.
The Steam machine is equal to or better than what 70% of people have at home. And that's an interesting comment because it's not... It's so open.
Mm-hmm.
That it will... if I think about the types of games that I'm usually going to want to be playing on my TV, it will probably be fine for a significantly longer period of time.
Yeah, you can play the crap out of Castle Crashers.
Exactly.
On your Steam machine.
Exactly. Most couch co-op things. What's that RV game?
Moving Out? Oh, no. That's the different one.
RV There Yet.
Yeah, that game, I'm sure it'll run completely fine.
But also Moving Out.
Sure.
Overcooked.
All those games will be no problem for basically ever.
What's that Mario Party clone, but more violent? You know the one I'm talking about, right? He would know.
Pummel Party.
Yeah, Pummel Party. Okay. Stuff like that's going to run on it, no problem, right? So to be clear, I'm not saying it's bad.
No.
I'm just saying that compared to a PlayStation 5, which I can literally get on Facebook Marketplace for what did I pay for the one in Scrapyard Wars? Less than 400 Canadian dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough. And there are benefits to a device like that over this. For instance, being able to stream protected content, and I get it. I know our audience, there's a lot of piracy. There's a lot of sailing the high seas.
Yes.
But that's not everybody, right? And so we do have to acknowledge that for a lot of people, the Steam machine is not just going to be a no-brainer.
No.
Obviously anything else is stupid.
I think another thing that'll hurt it, and I didn't articulate this earlier, but I did mean to earlier, I just forgot, is that I don't think this is going to have a almost uniqueness value. It is cool. It's the first Steam machine that's actually publicly available. It has SteamOS, all that kind of stuff. For sale?
Well, I mean, There were the old ones. They were for sale.
Oh, I didn't even know they actually
nobody
went for
bought
sale.
them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they ever actually went for sale. I thought, anyways, whatever. Something about old consoles that keeps their value is there are probably games that only work on this, or it had a very unique experience for some particular reason.
Yeah, so the way that they drop, because there's so many of them, but then they hold.
And then they'll go up.
And then they'll eventually... I don't think that's going to happen here.
Exactly.
It's just going to be an old computer.
Yes.
Which... Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
I find old computers they'll drop and they'll hold for a long time, but then they just plummet. They'll hit a wall where it's like, this just kind of sucks now. It's not getting driver updates anymore. These various things are happening.
I mean, Linux,
and then get ditched.
Linux, though. The fact that it runs Linux and you don't have to worry about Microsoft just like rug pulling your ability to boot the latest OS that's getting security updates.
That might help it be more legit for longer.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot at play in its ability to hold value.